All right. We started. The time is now. So love and peace to all. Freedom and freeness to all who want it. Truth and justice in all times. So I'm coming to you as Fyrst representing Fyrst Occult Services. So the reason I'm providing services is for anyone who is like me. And when I say like me, they need to know who, where, what, why, when, all the questions that your First Spirit can provide. So the service I'm really providing is for those who don't know their birth time. And I say this because if you don't know your birth time, even if you know your birth date, that's good. That's like most of us. And the majority, the average, they go by the sun on their date of birth. So you know your sun's sun, where the sun was when you were born. That's good, but that's not enough. That wasn't enough for me. And I say that because I want to be careful with my words. So I say that because I was at a point where I started researching astrology like 10 years ago. Didn't know really anything about it. Nobody told me about it. And I knew a little bit about the signs because, just friends of people. Oh, I'm this sign, I'm that sign. Thought nothing of it. Until my cranium got rocked. When I mean rocked, who you see now isn't who I was, and that who I was is never coming back. So I needed to know what was going on as far as what messages are coming from the First Spirit and separating what those other energies that you chose to be in when you made your vessel. And that's a little deep, so I'm going to break it down. Your First Spirit, the First Spirit, they're the same. So everyone has a vessel, a body, a form, and for it to become, it had to come from the First Spirit. Nothing that's in the physical can be without coming from the spirit or spiritual world. So for you to get here, your first spirit's not a definition. It's just like an adjective because the First Spirit is undefinable. And so just for you to be the first egg cell, first sperm cell, had to be the first to combine. And then they're nurtured and brought into this world by your mother. And when you come out the womb, that first breath is the soul that enters that vessel, that physical form. And the soul is the vessel of the First Spirit. So you chose to be here. We all did. You chose what your vessel will be, whether or not you could choose the exact time. You chose to be here on that time, and that's how you are. But because you chose that time, the stars were in the sky at a certain place. And every day is different. It's not repeated. So even a year from now, we say it's the same day, it's not the same day. Tomorrow, we'll never get yesterday back. So every day is individual, just like every vessel is individual. But they all come from the first spirit. And the first spirit in me, first spirit in you, that's a portion, a sliver of this first spirit before it, which is a portion, a sliver of the first spirit before it, till you get back to the first spirit. So that's what connects us all, even if we're not the same. Because eventually you'll understand you came from the spiritual place to be here in the physical. Physical is the last step of manifestation. Spiritual is the first step. That's what first spirit. That's the only way I can. It's undefinable, but since we're here to put words and meanings to things so we can communicate, that's how I describe it. But it's not a description, it's more like an adjective. Anyways, let's not get too deep into it. So, I needed to know what influences were coming from Sun, Moon, Mars, Venus, Mercury, all that stuff, so you know the inclinations, impulses, ideas, where they're coming from. Because if they're coming from nature, the first spirit created nature. Everything you see. And because it's the first spirit, that's not the only spirit. And that's what I'm trying to get at. It's good to know the difference. That's why people try to make belief systems for others to follow, but not give you the information you need to know what's coming from the first spirit and what's coming from other spirits. Other first spirits outside of you, which is not the same. Because there can only be one. There can only be, when you're born in that first breath, that's one breath. There's only one spirit, one soul coming into that vessel. Now after that, there might be others trying to get in there and influence how you think and do and how you move. But that first spirit, that's the all and be all. And that's who we should all want to be and connected with. But if you don't know your birth time, it's going to be very difficult. And I say difficult, it's not impossible, because, like I said, I didn't know anything about astrology till about 10 years ago. Got into it for about 2 years, studied, and my cranium got rocked. I'll go deep into that some other day. But I got hit so hard. Who I was, like, big parts evaporated, came out, and coming back. So I needed to know what was going on. And I say that because that it's not impossible to know what the first spirit's doing without astrology. You don't really need astrology, but it's good to know so you can be certain. Because if I wasn't in tune with the first spirit before astrology, I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't even have been there to get my cranium rocks. And that's what I mean. When you know what's going on, there's nothing more powerful. Nothing more powerful. Because it'll tell you, it'll show you things. It'll keep you out of trouble. It'll keep others out of trouble. It's the true guidance. There is no higher guidance, no better guidance, no more guidance than the first spirit. So it's good to separate those things in the world. You know, sometimes you'll be influenced by outside distractions, outside energies, frequencies, vibrations. We're all affected. Some more than others, some less than others. Depends how thick your skin is. And yeah, I had no choice. Well, I had a choice because I'm here. But I made the most of it. And that's what I'm doing now, is to help any who needs to know. So I say that because I didn't know. There's only 2 people that I can think of that knew when I was born. And they couldn't tell me if I was born during the day or night. So I had to find out. And me, I'd rather know than not know. And I say that because anytime I've seen my end, I change it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I would not be here. Straight up. Straight up. Yeah. And that's the first spirit. That's the reason you showed me, like, hey, this is going to happen. Like, oh, well, let me move this way so it doesn't happen. So I can't fault most people who do what they do when they see bad coming. Most of the bad that we think about is because we have different interpretations and different ideas of what is bad for us or to us. So in a way, me getting my cranium rock might have been good because it got me here to where I can help you if you do not know your birth time. Now, I say that because if you know the date, it's called rectification. I can help you find out when you were born. Might be a couple minutes, like a gap, maybe 1 to 5 minutes, but depending on where the stars are when you were born, I'll get it down. So that's the service that I'm providing. No charge. You can donate. I can do readings. I can read your palm. We can do your palm reading too, but it gets really specific, and that's more of like you really need to know what you want to know if you want me to read your palm, because I don't want to tell you what you don't want to know. And I say that from first experience. And I say that like saying, when I say first spirit, you keep coming back to the physical realm I call reincarnation. Sometimes, for some of us, this is the first trip as humans. Some of us, our only first trip as human. And we keep coming back. I know this ain't my first trip. This is my palm. You see that line in the middle? That's the fate. That's my right hand. That's saying something. That's saying my fate and destiny are not one and the same, because this is the left. And if you see the line in the middle, it don't go as hard as the one on the right. So I'm not trying to fool you. I'm just trying to let you know you don't get a palm this defined being here on the first try. Yeah. and it's not a brag. It is just a reality. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. So this is the first introduction, first video. I'll go by Fyrst Waklimi. FYRSTWAQLIMI. Fyrst Waklimi. Fyrst Waklimi. At Fyrstoccultservices. My email is fyrstoccultservices@gmail. If you want a palm reading, you need to make sure your palm's moisturized, and send me the picture of the both, and define which one's left or right. Because as you can see with these cameras, it's mirror time. So as far as rectification, I'll need to see your face. I'll need to talk to you. But we can go into that later, because I'll post more videos or I should say, the videos after this, I'll go more into what I need to start with, just so we can be on the same page and make sure we get that time down for you to know when you were born. And that way you can know what influences you. And I'm not saying I'm doing a reading for you, because you can do that yourself. I'm going to show videos that tell you the energies, vibrations, and frequencies, the planets and certain stars. And that way you can do it yourself. Or if you want me to, I can do it. But I really want to focus my time on letting people know, who need to know, who want to know, when they were actually born. Because people put stuff out that is inaccurate. I don't know if it's deliberately or indeliberately, because it's not their information. Maybe they're not from America. Maybe they're not American. And so they're getting a diluted version, and they're re-putting it out, and it's not accurate. So that's why a lot of people don't understand astrology when they research it, because a lot of times there's some truth in it, but it's off. It's like a car where the firing order's off. Yeah, it might run, but you're going to hear backfire. You just stop and go, and it's not right. So I did the research. No way around it. I had to. So I can help anyone who needs to know when they're born, so they can figure out what their chart says. And for readings, when I do a reading, I do your natal chart. Or I should say, I do the natal chart, the progressed chart, and the equal chart. And the equal chart is usually what you'll get if you don't know your birth time. And then that's good to know, because it is effective. I mean, you're still going to be affected by it. And those are three different things. Your natal chart is exactly when you were born. Your progressed chart is the current or specific to a day. Like, say today, if we did the progressed chart, it'd be August 3rd, the year we say is 2025. If that's true or not, the jury's still out. So, from that time today, you'll see exactly what energies are influencing you. And usually when you look at a progress chart, it's telling you either what you need to learn, what you're going to go through. The world keeps spinning. The world keeps rotating. The world keeps moving in orbit. So like I said before, no day is the same. So a progress chart will tell you what's going on after you're born. The equal chart will show you certain energies that are just there. They're there. So the equal chart goes off of your sun sign is your first house. And let me say, let you know what day I was born. January 9th, 1981. So on my equal chart, because I'll go into my equal chart, I don't care, because whoever's out there can see my equal chart from the date I just gave you. But I ain't going into my natal because it was hard work and only I could figure it out. So from my equal chart, I found that out. Because in my equal chart, Neptune is in the 12th house. And Neptune, Poseidon. It don't, when the 12th house is his home. So when it's in there, it don't want to be found. That's why a lot of people that try to size me up, they always end up short. A lot of people try to manipulate. It always fires back. Because they don't know what they're looking at. Because of my day as well. January 9th. That 9, how you see me is how you want to see me. Exactly. It's not just a reflection. It's how you actually want to see me, or how you think. That's what you see. Where most people you can see, oh yeah, I see that's how they are. No. How you see me is just like, is different for everyone because everyone's different. But I'm not going to get too deep into that. I just want to provide the service, let you know, make this an introduction. And we'll be back. And we'll let you know as much as we can so you can move and operate at your fullest potential and deflect, manipulate, or use energies that are coming at you where you probably previously wouldn't know if you don't know the exact time you were born. Straight up. So with that said, we'll close this out. Love and peace to all who want it. Freeness and freedom to all who need it. Truth and justice in all times for all time. Yeah.